Do cell phones cause cancer? And so, an inconvenient truth, as specifically detailed in the article, link in the description below, from The Guardian, released in 2018. And so, good evening. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the videos. And so, this is a new segment which is fringe related in terms of taboo topics that aren't necessarily mainstream, but I feel like are going to be very, very big issues in and or around the near future, if not the eminent future, absolutely, in terms of long term. And so, you know, cell phones, in my opinion, are harmful to human beings. Now, I say this from a completely lay perspective, an entirely 100% my opinion, as it is right now. Especially since I will not fail to mention that according to cancer.org, there has been no evidence to date that implicates the use of cell phones to a form of cancer, a cancer-causing agent. And so it has not been determined one way or the other, which in itself is a sus answer, I'd say. If there's no definitive answer after 4 decades of use, then there's probably not the kind of accuracy and transparency that we'd like there to be as it concerns this specific product. And so again, as somebody who's used a cell phone with privilege, mind you, absolutely, since probably the year 2000 at least, I have definitely always, not had a feeling that they were bad for me or whatever, but just the thought that low frequency radiation and its emission, and just the fact that there are so many other cell phones in existence than there were 2 decades ago even, leads me to believe that cell phones are probably going to be the new food, in terms of my opinion with large scale change. Is that in the 20th century, for example, there was big tobacco, and for nearly a century we were led to believe that tobacco did not directly, or nicotine, smoking cigarettes didn't directly cause cancer, only to find out that in fact we've known the entire time that it does such. And food, I say the new food because food is currently the new tobacco. Food is super shady, and there are currently so many lobbyists trying to skew the definition of food and processed food and ultra processed food and things like that. But the point I'm trying to make here is most of the food that we consume now, I'd argue, is toxic and harmful for us. But until landmark legislation is enacted to ensure our food safety, then it is in fact the new tobacco, essentially. So once the food category is dealt with, I feel like the next big thing for us, maybe even simultaneously to address, is how to make cell phones safer to use in the long term, knowing, again, in 2024, that the likelihood of the continuance, the purveyance, just using the cell phones as much as we do, and the increase of such in the near future, I think it's, again, without question to say that it's something that should not only be studied, but should be studied from the perspective of which the assumption is that we know long-term use of many mass cell phones all at one time is not good for humans. Again, I could be way wrong here, and it's just a lay perspective, but it's a fringe sort of topic, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. And ultimately, cell phones should be and will be banned. That is my stance on whether or not cell phones are toxic for you, because I strongly believe that they are more harmful than people would like to imagine.